What's up, guys? Good morning. Hope we're all having a good Wednesday morning here, but it is time to get to work. We are live, baby. Chris, Derek, Skeeto, JF, Giovanni, Joe. What's up, guys? Good to see you all. Let's let all the regulars pour on in here. Troutman, how we doing? We are a minute and 15 out. You are currently looking at a 2-minute chart, which is what I plan on getting started on at least, though we got to take a look up top. Top left is the 5-minute chart, then that top right is the same 2-minute chart. Bottom of your screen, of course, is the New York Session Daily. We have a dual rollover coming on both the 5 and the 2. You can see both 50 seconds out from the rollover. So let's head on back to this look and let's go ahead and actually switch to the 5-minute chart just for this rollover in case we get something good. Engage the copy trader, 30 seconds out. Javaz, how we doing? Pat, good morning. All right, you guys know what I'm looking for. I need a nice, clean, low close out of the bears. And that'll give us what we're after. Of course, stop limit sell is what I'm going to put out if we get that 10 seconds out. Beauty. Plant that there. It's exactly what I wanted. 30 seconds we'll give this to see if we can get a fill. To the short side. Got to break that wick low on this previous clean bear close for me to want to get filled. I do not want to get filled unless we do that, which is the purpose of a stop limit sell or buy. There we go. When we are filled, I will go ahead and risk. You know what I'm going to do? Volatility is increasing. Let's give this one a little more room. We're going to suck this guy way down, and we're going to take this 5-minute bar by 5-minute bar. What do you guys say? All right, there's where we currently sit. Give this one a little bit more room. Of course, those orders that are out, we don't necessarily need to go that far in either direction to manage this. We'll take it bar by bar, but if we get news, I want to be exposed equally, if not slightly weighted to the limit take profit side. Clint, good morning, brother. How we doing? Good to see you. Home, first $5,000 payout from Take Profit Trader after 2 years of trading. That's gotta feel good, huh? When that hit the account. What's up, Sharky? How we doing? All right, Bears, take us down through, put us in the money. All right, so again, taking this bar by bar, ATR currently on the 5-minute chart is about 25-ish. So keeping that in mind here with the ask that we're making. Now again, if you are just joining us here, we got a nice setup here on the 5-minute. So we are currently trading on the 5-minute chart. Once this is over, we'll likely head on back to the 2. But when the 5 gets us a setup, we'll switch to the 5 here pretty regularly, which is why we're on it now. And see if the Bears can take this a bit lower. 2 minutes, 20 seconds out here from the close of this 5-minute bar. Now again, with ATR at 25, I got to tell you, I'm kind of looking to get, I would love to get a full ATR here. We have to go through 23.9 to get that. But if we could kick off the morning here with a full ATR, I'd still call it a scalp here, even though we're on the 5-minute. All right, Bears. Little weak, I gotta tell you. Again, just bar by bar here. A little bit slower since we're on a 5-minute chart. As far as management style here. Bruce, good morning. How we doing? John, good morning. How we doing? All right, Bears. There we go. Let's take it down through 23.9 and give me a look for a full ATR. Peter, 13-day green streak. Good work. Kind of a shrinking bear body there. Keeping an eye on that. Again, just taking it bar by bar here on the 5-minute. Nice. Coming in for a test of 23.9. See if there's any hang up here around 23.9. All right, Bears, do it to him. Take it down through. Beautiful. Let's head down toward 890. Bulls try to step in right around 23.9. It's okay. It's okay. Let him step in and buy and just get stomped on. There we are. Let's see if we can get that 25 full 1 ATR here out of this trade. Bulls, what do you think you're doing here? Don't step in front of a train like this. Look at this. Need about 7-ish more points in the money, and that would be my full 1 ATR here. We've gotten within a couple of points of that full 1 ATR. Here we go, coming back down for a test. Alright, Bull's trying to step in. We'll let him try. We'll let him try, but I need my full ATR here out of this guy. Peter! Used to immediately take a trade after a loss, and that would destroy my P&L, especially if I up the size on the revenge trade. Yeah, Peter, tale as old as time. Tale as old as time, man. Everyone does the same things. We are not. If you're out of your mind enough to persist at trading intraday, you're probably wired relatively similarly to somebody else who is out of their mind enough to do the same, right? So everybody comes in. I mean, good God, I've seen this time and time again, and they say, "Yeah, see, I have kind of this like." this like interesting, I don't know if you've seen this before. I make this interesting mistake. I keep on doing this and it's killing me. It's like, yeah, you and every other trader ever. We're not that different as far as mistakes that we all make or made in the past, right? And you're still gonna make mistakes. You're gonna miss entries. You guys have seen me miss an entry every once in a while, right? And by the way, a losing trade is not a mistake. Let's get that straight right off the bat. As long as you are taking it according to plan. All right, bulls. All right, bulls, calm down now. We got that shrinking bear bar on the previous bar, and the bulls are trying to take this back into a bull bar. Let's see if they can. We have 41 seconds till this bar closes. Obviously, an inside close means nothing for me to do. And again, for those of you guys just piling in here, we are trading off a 5-minute chart here currently. And I want my full ATR. We got within a couple of points of the full ATR. Honestly, we got within maybe like a 1.5, 2 points of me being all right taking profit. We didn't get it. Sometimes that happens. So we got to watch this bar close, see if it's an inside close. 6 seconds out. Inside close, next bar, gotta leave it. Gotta leave it for now. Next bar, we are still managing bar by bar. Peter, how we doing? Skeeto passed 25k Apex eval, good work. Now with those 25k Apexes, take it easy, but you should be able to get to a payout. And hey, if it's not on attempt number 1, man, just keep after it. The 25ks, those of you guys who are just hurting to get funded or hurting to get a payout, give those 25ks at Apex a shot, man. You have by far, well, I wouldn't say by far, the 50k is a close second. But you do have the best stats as far as in your favor. Now, is the payout going to be as big as if it's a 300k account? No, but you have a much higher probability of getting to it, right? At least when you consider the whole process, including getting funded. All right, 2 minutes, 50 seconds left here on this 5-minute bar. Bulls trying. Now, if they can close it, again, I have my protective orders out both sides. If they can close it as a nice, clean bull bar, that's not an inside close, we'll have to cut this baby early and move on. Not early, but according to plan, right? So far here, we've been about 23 points in the money at best. And this here is about the worst we've sat on the trade thus far. No management yet, though. All right, 2 minutes out. 65 seconds left till the rollover here of this 5-minute bar, which of course is our decision maker on this trade. Now remember, as far as management, we're trading the 5, so it's got to be a setup here in 28 seconds that I would take to the long side. So let's see if it is. If it is, then we cut it and we move on. Fingers on the hotkeys, ready to rock. You pivot right around that 23,945 region. Inside close, man. Wouldn't be able to take that long. So what does that mean? It means we go next bar. Trev, do you prefer the ATR after 11 a.m.? I don't care. As long as the ATR is fine, I really don't care. Now, I do care when it's too low. I do care when it's ridiculously high, like it was. What's that now? I mean, shit, that was 4 months ago now. During the original tariff talks, when ATR on a 2-minute chart was, I mean, shit, it went maybe 200 or 300 for a few bars. That was a little too high and unpredictable and news-driven. But man, as long as the ATR is within a reasonable range, you know, on the 2-minute. Above 20 is great. Above 15 is good. Below 10 sucks. On the 2-minute chart, we're on a 5-minute right now, of course. All right, these bulls are grinding. Still, no early management for me. But if this next bull bar closes above this previous wick's bar, I'm sorry, this previous wick high on the previous bar, right? Then we gotta manage. Just how the chips fall, man. Again, at best here we've been maybe 23 points in the money. Never really did get the target. And being on the 5-minute chart here, this is a bigger trade either way. Winner or loser. Vin, good morning. How we doing? All right, 2 minutes, 15 seconds out here till this 5-minute bar rolls over. Keep an eye on it. ATR, by the way, creeping up, so our target's creeping up with it. We're up into the 26 region now. Which is cool with me, man. I'll take an increasing ATR. All right, this 5-minute bar closes here in 50 seconds. Obviously not necessarily looking like a management bar as it sits right now, but a lot can change in 40 seconds, so let's see here. Ten seconds out. Obviously, I need to see this thing reverse way up above 951 to cut this baby, which of course it's not going to do. So next bar here, 5 minutes out, and we'll see. Again, target here, 1 ATR or better. ATR currently sits, we're creeping up, about 27. So looking for at least an ATR or better. Again, being on a 5-minute chart here, we expect this trade to take a little extra time than your typical 2-minute scalp. Skeeto says, Nico, what's your ATR setting? I just have the ATR set to a value of 10. So on a 5-minute chart, it's the last 10 5-minute bars, right? And then I have the range of each individual bar just laid on top. That's at the bottom here, right? Hey, Roy, good to see you. How we doing? All right, we got about 2.5 minutes left on this 5-minute bar. You guys know what I'm looking for, right? At this point. Any bar that's an outside close that would reasonably cause me to get long, I'm going to manage, you make a buy decision, which in this case would put me flat. Because we're sitting short. And then a full ATR or better in the money is a profit-taking decision. So let's see here. We got 2 minutes, 5 seconds left on this 5-minute. And a close above 51. Be a buy decision. Hey, Rufio, how we doing? $90 seconds out. Vanny, what's up? How we doing? All right, we have 50 seconds left. Now again, not necessarily just a pop, but a close, a bull close. That would put me long if I were flat, equals buy decision, equals me going from short 1 to flat, right? Position window top left, of course, you can see. We are copy trading. All right, 25 seconds out, let's see here. Again, protective stop is out in case we get some crazy news or something, but a close above 51 puts me flat. Let's see. Hands off, no change, still in the trade. Mario, good morning, how we doing? All right, well, ATR is staying put here in the 27 region. We're going to keep an eye on this little flat. What could be a temporary little flat right around our break-even point. I'm not a big fan. You guys know, even for entries, I'm not really looking at these like individual levels inside of a pre-existing bigger range. I mean, right now, pretty clearly, if you had to draw something, you'd probably either be drawing this or that, right? Probably more like that. But we'll clean that up because we know that that's there. All right, we got less than 2 minutes till this 5-minute bar closes out. Now again, a close above 51 puts me flat. And then of course, a full ATR or better in the money also puts me flat. Right now, there's four management options, right? Close on a bull bar above 51. At least to push 1 ATR or better in the money, or either of these live protective orders, the buy stop up top or the buy limit take profit down low, of course, which would likely require either a volume push or news. Hey Wolf, how we doing? Good morning. Lurt, good to see you. Eric, what's up, brother? How we doing? All right, we got 16 seconds until this 5-minute bar closes out here. I should get ready in case we get any last-second big changes, like a big bull bar closing above 51. Unlikely, but should be ready. Nope. No management decision. Next bar. Let's see what we get. Ari says, would you run live on weekends again? Yeah, I'd be open to it. I'd be open to it. If enough people were like, yeah, I really like that. There seemed to be a lot of kind of confusion. How are you trading right now? The market's close. It's a replay, bro. I mean, clearly you can see the time on screen. But if enough of you guys were like, no, wait, I really liked all the trade replays live 24 hours a day over the weekend, yeah, I would do it again if you guys wanted it. All right, 3 minutes, 30 seconds out here again. You guys know the 4 management options right now that exist. All right, here comes the test of 51. Again, I need to close above 51. We're halfway through this 5-minute bar. And between now and then, our protective stop is out to take care of any big volatility mishaps. That right there, by the way, that's the test of the 20 EMA on the 5-minute. Top left of your screen, right there is the test. Really the first test since we broke it downside early after the open. But we've got 1:16 left until this 5-minute bar closes. Again, if we do close above 51, 9:51 that is, assuming a reasonable wick, it would need to be a bar that I would get long on here on the 5. Then that creates a buy decision, which puts me flat. So 48 seconds out, let's see what we get. 25 seconds. It's gonna be close. Yep, outside, cut it. And we move on to the next bar, back to the 2-minute chart. Since that is our core chart. All right, back on the 2, we got 48 seconds out. And I'll tell you guys, I imagine more than likely maybe we see this kind of thing develop. But I'm open to whatever the price action tells us, baby. Right. About 90 seconds out here. The close of this new 2-minute bar. Now ATR here on the 2-minute chart is about 15 or 16. Now that we're back on the 2, trades might be a little bit smaller. It's all right. I mean, you know, when there's risk to put on the 5, it works itself out. I get it. You know, some of you guys, if you swap over to the 5-minute, you know, if you happen to even trade a similar way as I do, you might hop over to the 5, put on a trade, and it's a winner. And it's like, okay, we have some padding on the day. Good. If it turns out to be a loser, it feels weird going back to the 2, where there's a smaller ATR and then taking smaller scalps. It feels like you have some kind of weird, inverted reward to risk that doesn't have edge. You guys know negative reward to risk, I like very much so in range markets. It makes a lot of mathematical sense. But it's okay. It's not a bad thing if you have to switch over to a smaller time frame because there's more setups and then take smaller trades. It works itself out over time because inevitably we'll be back on the 5 putting on more trades. Right, so it's all right. It's kind of a weird scenario to be in, especially right off the rip, but it's not a big deal, I promise you. If that's something that messes with your head. All right, here comes the rollover of this 2-minute. Looks like it's probably gonna close as a doji here, essentially, right? Yeah. All right, next bar. All right, 53 seconds out here. This is going to be a dual rollover on the 5 and the 2. Really not much of a look on the 5-minute, top left of your screen. So we're back on the 2 here. All right, there's the rollover. See, kind of in still, I wouldn't say inside, but equal close as that previous bar's wick high. So next bar here. Let's clean this up. I'm gonna get rid of that guy. All right, 17 seconds out. Come on, Burrs, take it nice and low and I can fade you. Yeah, kind of still top end of that lower third. All right, next bar here, 2 minutes out. "60 seconds here. There you are, Bears. Get a little cocky. Now, you know the Bears are looking for this low, right? 100%, you know they are. Still, I gotta get long. And I will look to see which range becomes the watched range. This tighter range or the overarching bigger range. Now these, again, this is a 2-minute chart, so more bull bars than we've seen pretty much all day, starting to get mixed in. So I tend to think, yeah, I think we're probably entering a trading range. There you go, position window open. HR about 14. We're just back to regular scalping here on the 2-minute. That first trade, of course, bigger potential risk, potential reward on the 5. Higher ATR, of course. Bar by bar. Looking to get kind of a minimum 3/4 of an ATR here. There's pretty much 3/4 of an ATR. Punch out, next trade. All right, minute 22 out. $55 seconds here. Dollar Bill, good morning. How we doing? Good to see you. All right. I'm only open to do anything if the Bears suck this baby down low, which they're not going to be able to do, so cancel that. Next bar. Minute 57 out. Jormisha, good morning. How we doing? That's all you can ask for, man. Losing day. We get the practice in. The beautiful thing about trading, by the way, is as you get better, you typically tend to trade bigger. So you lose small in comparison early, and then you can win bigger as you get better. It's a big part of why this can work if you have an edge. At least if you develop one, even if it takes 15 years, which it shouldn't, but even if it does. As long as you can survive, you can outgrow the early day losses, which you want to keep as small as possible, by the way. But I know a lot of you guys are degenerates. You're not going to listen to me. That's all right. All right, 20 seconds out here. See if we get anything interesting on the close. Inside close, nothing interesting. All right, don't go anywhere. Back in 2. All right, we're back. We are back and back to the 2 minute. 40 seconds out. Let's see if we get a close that justifies a little scalp here. Beauty. Stop limit buyout. Give this 25 more seconds, see if we can get a fill. There we are. We got a fill. We are in. Of course, I'm going to risk this curl. Suck that up. All right, ATR is about 14, 15, so keeping an eye on that. And see if the bulls can backfill the second half of this range after that decent bull close. Not the greatest bull close ever, but justifies a scalp, at least for me. All right, 50 seconds out here. Reward to risk on this trade is pretty damn good, which means probability is not quite as high as a negative reward to risk scalp, obviously. All right, inside close, next bar. All right, new 2 minute bar here. VB, good morning. How we doing? Adrian, I've got 1,700 in my live account. How much should I be risking to make consistent profits? And should I do the micro mini NASDAQ or the regular NASDAQ? Well, your account's way too small to trade an NQ. If I were you, I'd be trading a micro. And how much should you risk to make consistent profits? If you don't have an edge, I'll tell you something, you're never going to make consistent profits. You're going to make consistent losses. The same way that as gamblers continue to gamble, they make more and more consistent losses. I mean, this is just a game of statistics. It really is that fucking simple. People say, oh, well, what setup should I trade to make consistent profits? A setup with edge, or a lot of setups with the market context that gives you as a human being statistical edge when you make decisions. Come on now, guys. How long we been around here? All right, so let's see, it looks to me, we may end up seeing, I don't want to draw right on my break-even point. This is becoming an interesting kind of level here, right? So, that's fine. I mean, if it doesn't work, if the bulls can't take it back up into the higher end of this region, because we do have the 20 EMA on the 5 kind of coming down and down as the trade goes on, that's fine. I mean, we really don't lose too much compared to the reward. There's different styles of trades, right? I mean, you can have a super high probability trade that's, not great reward to risk, that still has edge. And then you could have a trade with a little bit lower probability, but it has a much better reward to risk. I mean, we talked about the math here like every day. At this point, you should understand what I'm talking about without me even saying it. Hey, Tamir, good morning. How we doing? Yeah, good idea, Joe. Figure out how long people have been watching. Listen, you guys, I mean, the regulars around here, even if you've been here for 2 days, you know my style. I mean, it's tough love because I give a fuck. I care. I've been in the trenches. I've laid under my desk and said, what in the motherfucker am I doing? I cannot figure it out. I've been there, dude. We've all been there. In the early years, it's really, really hard. If people came in and asked questions and I didn't give a shit whether or not you succeeded or not, I would just say, yeah, trade a micro. Yep, trade a micro. You should make money. Nope, you're not going to make money unless you have edge. I could just tell you what you want to hear, and then you'll really like me, and you'll feel good, and you'll come back. And then 12 years from now, you'll say, fuck, I just wasted a pretty big percentage of my life trying to figure this shit out. Or I could just tell you the truth day one at risk of you saying, wow, he's kind of a dick. Sure, but I care. All right, 50 seconds out here. Let's Still no management on this little scalp. Volatility's kind of dying off. It's all right here, bar by bar. Adrian, I understand having an edge, and I have a pretty good strategy, and I do my journaling every day. Good, you're doing everything you need to be. Very good to hear. To stay consistent and disciplined, I was just wondering if I should make small, teeny ones based on my account. Yeah, listen, Adrian, trade, I'm serious, trade like 1 micro until you're sure of your edge. And then slowly scale. It's better to just do it the first time. I mean, I'm telling you, if you don't, you're just wasting your time. I mean, you're going to get experience. Any day spent looking at the screen is not a day wasted because you're gaining experience, you're gaining market intuition, even if it doesn't feel like it. But you can save yourself a lot of time by going the slow way the first time, which is track your data, trade small, be pretty damn sure of your edge. I get it. It doesn't hit the dopamine receptors the same. I understand. I understand. Zachary. But Adrian, I'll tell you what, man. Trade small, be sure your edge, and then scale. And you will be very happy with yourself in a few years. Hell, maybe even 6 months. Well, back to pretty much break even here on the scalp. See if the bulls can pop this through and backfill this bigger range here. Dealing with that right now. And this. I mean, so you guys see here, right? I mean, I got long right above that bull bar there with a stop limit buy. And a lot of traders are going to look at this and say, yeah, it's a flat top now, right? That's okay. I mean, in the current market environment, these newer levels that get drawn inside of a bigger range, more often than not, if we've been falling for them, or if traders in general have been falling for them, it has not worked out especially well. Now, the timing, you know, of course, could be off. We're coming in for a tester of this low. And if we take out this wick here, you know, even inside of this wick back here, we'll just cut it and we'll move on. But the potential reward here is pretty good. I'm looking for not just a single ATR. I'd be looking to backfill a bigger chunk of this range. Which, you know, what does that do? When reward to risk goes up, what happens to probability? Goes down. Goes down, baby. Now we got 7 seconds out here until the close. Boom, I'll take an ad if it'll give it to me down at 2022. I'm sorry, 22, 922. And that's where the risk is lowest, so I'm cool with that. Now, when you add down there, you can't expect it to just come on back. More than likely, it's going to stop you with double size now. Of course, my entry size is small. But the risk is also lowest on that second buy, so it's not a big deal. When I add 49 micros, 5 points out, you're looking at less than $500 if it stops you out on the second ad. Which for me, across all my accounts, is worth doing in that scenario where you're in a nice bear bar closing near the low. Something that I might actually buy if I were flat. Just brings that average down a little bit. Makes the winner even bigger if it does reverse. Doesn't change the probability much, though. Okay, we'll cut it there, we'll move on. Alright, we're 22 seconds out here from the rollover of just the 2-minute bar. 5-minute bar is 3 minutes, 16 seconds out. So that's fine, we'll stay focused here on the 2-minute. I imagine the bears are probably going to struggle with this low, you would think. This flat bottom here, I'm actually going to move this more like there. Alright, minute 50 out. This next bar is really, really important here. For me. We get a nice low close. Guess what we get to do? My favorite setup. Stop button. I think this is just about the song we needed right now, man, huh? Alright, 65 seconds out here. Inside close, nothing I can do on that 2-minute bar. So next bar it is, 2 minutes out. Still, I mean, we got to keep an eye on this guy. But I got to tell you guys, I just don't buy this little flat top. I mean, these flat tops they're brutal. Would I get long into it? That would essentially be a reattempt of trade number, well, the last trade. The initial entry. I'd be open to it if we got a nice clean bull bar closing near the high. All right. Looks like we may have to reattempt, huh? Let's see. We'll give that 15 seconds uptick. Just barely an outside close. Give it a few more seconds here, see if we get a fill. No fill, pull it, next bar. Minute 40 out. All right, 7 seconds out here from the close of this 2-minute bar. Looks like it's gonna be an inside close here. Yeah, closing as a doji, nothing I can do. All right, next bar here, 2 minutes out. And yes, Joe, you're right, that 20 EMA on the 5 is about 10 points away. 10, 15 points away. I saw that on the last attempt at an entry. I don't care too much. I'm not really looking at the 20 EMA. Now, if we were, if I was going to enter at 23,937, yeah, I'd probably hold off. GJ, yes sir, lots of respect. Do you trade crypto on leverage? Any plans to do it live? Season is about to start. Oh, that'd be a hell of a show, huh? No. No, man, the spreads, the fees. I gotta tell you, crypto is about my least favorite trading security of all time. Probably takes a back seat even to Forex, which is heavily manipulated. Crypto is crazy. But I mean, listen, hey, as long as you're not gambling your rent money, if you're trying to take 500 to 500,000, it's probably the way to do it. But what most people don't get is probability of that occurring is extremely, extremely low. You have to not only outrun the ridiculous spreads and the ridiculous fees and the manipulation and the rug pulls being executed by 11-year-olds, but you also have to be right. And when you're on that much leverage, you don't have too much room to be wrong. All right, inside close there, next bar. By the way, guys, if you're trying to scale your accounts right now, of course, Apex is my preferred scaling firm to go bigger. That 80% off ends in about a day. Okay, that ends tomorrow evening. 80% off single day pass at Apex with code BIG. There we go. There's some volatility. Minute 10 out here from the close of this 2-minute bar. All right, new 2-minute bar. Huge wick on that last one. Well, that is essentially the look right now. So if we can get a nice clean bull bar closing near the high, I want to short that rollover in the next 13 seconds. Bears are stepping in early, man. They're not going to give it to me. All right, essentially a doji close here. Next bar. Right, 30 seconds out. Beautiful. Come on, Bulls. Get cocky. Little more. Ah, son of a gun. Inside close, not there. Can't do it. No trade. Hey, Mike, good to see you. How we doing? All right. Inside close here on this bear bar, you can see big wick back upside inside of the body of the previous bull bar. The market's indecisive, then I sure cannot be decisive. Oh, this got me curious. How's the 1 minute looking? Actually, not as bad as I thought it'd be. It's a little wicky, but to be fair, so is the 5 minute. So is the 2 minute. 1 minute's not too bad. We'll keep that in our back pocket. For now, though, back to the 2. "30 seconds out. Inside close, next bar. Minute 55. the way this wedge is developing, I really start to think, you know, are these bears just gonna do everything they can to see a test of low of day? Which would be a beautiful thing, because that wick, last one on the screen here, you can see, that is the low of day. And you know there's a shitload of stops down there. And you also know that's my favorite prey when we're on a hunting trip, are those stop losses. See if this 2 minute can give us an entry at least. Like the way that looks. Let's see here. I'm gonna stop limit sell ready. Nope. Inside close. Yeah, inside close. Nothing there. Next bar here. 2 minutes out. All right, 40 seconds. Come on, Bears. Hold this low. Man, I'm looking at this low. And I've got drool dripping off the fangs, man. I want to add. Oh, you son of a bitch. We'll step it in. Come on, Bears. 20 seconds. I want to be able to get short. Have another bear bar and add right into the stop so I can have pretty much 100 micros damn near through that. Pull the first order, let the second one sit for a second, take it bar by bar. We're not going to get it, at least not on this bar. Those bulls stepping in thinking there's something. It's all right, can't do it. Gains just passed 3 50K evals. Good work. 2 funded. About to buy 3 more. Man, 5 funded. Gains soon. It's going to be 10. Then you're going to be maxed out and having to look at other props. Good work. Assuming that's Apex. Is that Apex? There you go. Max that thing out, baby. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good, good. 15 seconds. Come on, Bears. I'm gonna plant it and give it 15 seconds just because we're... Is it an inside close? Yes, but we have the stop honey mentality. You could even argue on this little wick, but much more so low of day back here. Yeah, 15 seconds, no fill, gotta pull it. See all these bars, it's struggling to maintain or to reclaim the previous bar's wick high. I'm not against putting out a limit sell, like a tick above this, but we're not even close at this point. Right now, the setup with that stop hunting is so good, I'm really looking for any reasonable way to get short. There's no way to do it yet. Alright, next bar, it's alright. John, I got a few unreasonable ways if you're interested. Yeah, hit me. Let's hear it. Yeah, that might have been a reasonable way to get short. A stop limit right below that little 3-bar flat bottom. That's alright. We got a dual rollover coming. Really want these bears to hold off. Don't go without me. Don't do it. Let me get a reasonable entry first. But if it does go without us, that's alright. That's alright, man. Whole lot of moves across all markets every day that go without you. Alright, 18 seconds out. And any reasonable way to get short here, I would like to. Even if it's just a limit order on a rollover beneath those wicks. We can punch that. We can do that. That's reasonable. Alright, looking to stop hunt. Looking to stop hunt right here at my cursor. That's low a day. We're on a hunting trip. Let's see. Come on, Bears. Punch through those stops. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Bit of a push through. Minute 10 left here on this bar. Got a bit of a push. Let's see if the Bears can kind of reestablish a better push. Bull stepping in. That's not unexpected here, but let's see. Looking for a little bit bigger trade here, I'd prefer. I shouldn't say bigger, considering the current market volatility, but bigger than we've been seeing. All right, so bears push through maybe 6-7 points through the low. That's reasonable here. Let's see. Goober, just want to say thank you. Your prop firm series this year re-inspired me to try prop firms and get my algos back online. Oh, you're a platinum member. Hey, good to have you back. Now I'm making 5K a day on 5 funded accounts. Hey, good work. Good work. Gotta love to see it, man. All right, here we got a minute 38 left here on this 2-minute bar. I'd really like to get, I don't need to, but I would love to get 2 ATR out of this trade, which would be pretty much 25 points. But we also got to be reasonable in our asks, so let's see if the bears can even take it back down toward that low, and we'll watch price action if we visit there again. All right, next bar here, 2 minutes. It's a strong bull bar there. Minute 30 out here. Let's see if they give us a close, man. So at best so far here on that trade, we were at best, what, maybe 17 points? Yeah, 17 points-ish in the money. That stop really only gave us 6 points. You know, honestly, being a low-a-day stop that's been established for, well, at the point of the break, it had been an hour and a half. Really thought we'd get a little bit more than 6 points through that low. Those buyers stepped in pretty damn quick. All right, 40 seconds out here. Well, we didn't quit shit. We're just doing it live. The prop firm space is more than I thought it was. And by the way, the 100K a month challenge was just to kind of like show you guys like 100K a month, man. I think a lot of people interpreted that as the ceiling, man. We're just getting started. All right, looking for, I would love to get 2 ATR. That's 24-ish points. Here we are coming in for test here of the low. Let's see how the Bears pull this out here. What's up, Joseph? How we doing? Marcus, can you trade your strategy around the clock or only during New York session? I prefer the New York session, but even... What day is today's Wednesday? I think Monday? Yeah, Monday. I traded for a while in the... I wouldn't call it Asia yet. But it was evening time here in the States. I had to work on a few accounts and I traded for a while. The only difference is in lower volatility environments like the evening time in the States, in futures that is, right? It's more and more and more range bound, and there's a slightly higher risk of like random out of nowhere volume spikes that cause bigger movement. But basically, if you think of it as a range market, which, lower volatility range market inside of a range market on the New York session already, it's the same. It's the same. Remove the price from the right and the time from the bottom, and every chart, as long as there's enough data held within each individual bar, so it's not just a wiki mess, as long as that's true, you trade every chart the same. All right, 50 seconds out here. Let's see if the bulls close it above about 912 and a quarter-ish. Now we got a target here on this scalp, guess you could call it a trade at this point, is 24, 25 points. So if we end up having to cut this, it's, still like 2 to 1 reward to risk. Which is not magic, by the way, it just is what it is. People think, if you're not better than 1 to 1 reward to risk, you're not a winning trader. Did you go to elementary school? That's not how the math works. 10 seconds out, let's see if we gotta cut it, man. Cut it, move on. All right, next bar here. Let's see. Minute 50 out here. Now, just because you cut, this is by the way, this is the big difference kind of between like swing trading and scalping. It's not just quicker trades, smaller risk, typically smaller targets. One of the big differences that I think gets heavily overlooked is the willingness to punch out and then try again if you need to. You can try it. Look at this. Good thing we cut it, huh? You can try to you can try the same idea if a new setup with the same idea that you just cut presents itself after like the cut bar. Like for example, this was the cut bar here, close of this bar. If we got a nice bear bar closing near the low, I wouldn't use a limit order because it's an inside close, but a stop limit sell beneath that wick low on the rollover, that would be fine for another kind of stop hunting mentality down here. Of course, we're not getting that here. 5 seconds out. Let's see how this rolls over. Interesting. Big wicks. But that's actually a big deal because if you're, if we enter a trend market, which I wouldn't say we're currently in a trend market, I'd still say we're in a range market. But if you're in a trend market and you're scalping, the swing traders have a huge advantage over the scalpers in that case. Why? Because most scalpers, they take the first scalp and then they never get back in. But the swing traders are still in. They're picking up all the points. If you're going to scalp, you have to be willing to get back in if a new setup presents itself. Otherwise, man, when the trend hits, there should probably be like 10 or 20 scalps during the trend. But if you only take the first one, you would have been much better off just swing trading it, right? If you want to be a scalper, you have to have patience, but you also got to be willing to get back in when it's time. Even if it's shortly after the last trade, and understand that it's not an emotional decision unless it is, of course. In which case, you got to slow yourself down. Taylor, it's all relative. It's all relative. Man, in the early days, losing $50 sucked. All right, 45 seconds out here. See if we get an entry. Again, those of you guys just joining us, we are looking at a 2-minute chart. Give that 20 to 30 seconds here. See if we can get a fill. That's a stop limit sell to the downside. See if we can take out that low. If and only if we get a fill. Of course, if we don't take out this bar, right? This bar is wick low that I do not want to get filled. 10 seconds. Ooh, there we are, getting a fill, baby. Beautiful. All right, let's see if the bears can take out that low once again here. All right, shrinking bear bar. We'll keep an eye on that. And we'll take it bar by bar. So we are a minute 50 out here. Kyle, you love those stop limit orders. Is there a reason you prefer those instead of attempting an entry near a curl? I only prefer them on a continuation setup, because it forces the market to be going in your direction and when you get a fill, which of course isn't always going to put you in the money quickly, like in this case. But oftentimes it will, and if you try to get a near curl entry, you know, you're going to be sitting and waiting. The market's going against you. Those are for reversion. I use limit orders for reversion entries. Stop limits ensure that the market, as soon as we reclaim the tick low, or I should say the wick low by at least a tick on the previous bar, it's already going in my direction and I'm getting filled automatically, offloaded to the computer. It's just a good habit to get into for the way that I trade. Nah, Chris, I wasn't in the trade at that point. Back here you're looking? I placed my stop there. The entry here was after the rollover of that bar there from boom, right? All right, 43 seconds out here. Let's see how the Bulls close this up. 30 seconds. There's the wick back. All right, inside close here, next bar, 2 minutes out. All right, another inside close. They're out of the Bulls. All right, now of course we got to look at this, right? You guys hear me say all the time, there's always an argument against your trade. Right now, that's the bull argument. Okay, so, do the bulls do they happen to turn this curl of the day into the one that reverses the whole day? Yeah, maybe. I'm of the belief right now, which is why I'm making the bet that, maybe 55, 60% of the time, the Bears are at least going to want to test that low first. We'll put it on. And manage bar by bar. 30 seconds out here. Let's see how the Bulls close this up. All right, inside close, man. Roy says, my current girlfriend is very supportive, but I've had a lot of people in my past that all just want to drag me down and tell me I can't do this, telling me I should work for a regular steady paycheck. Yeah, Roy, don't tell people what you're doing. At the end of the day, people care about how they feel, how what you're doing makes them feel, right? Very few people actually give a shit about whether or not what you do works. And I get it. There's some people that are like, no, genuinely, like, I want you to succeed. That's great. Keep them tight. But there's also a lot of people, and you'll be surprised. You'll be extremely surprised who, you know, when the thing works, all of a sudden they stop supporting. You're going to be shocked. You're going to be like, hey, I remember that one stream where Nico was trading not too hot. And he said it was coming, and here it is. I didn't believe him at the time, but now here it is. He told me. The people that are actually genuine, you already know who they are. Keep them tight. There's also going to be a lot of people who are like, man, I can't wait to see it work. It's going to be awesome. And then when it works, they're going to be like, well, but is it sustainable? I don't know, man. I heard the market doesn't, I heard most traders eventually go broke. Bunch of bullshit, man. All right, let's see how the Bulls close this up, man. Gotta cut it. Nice bull bar. All right. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I got coffee sitting out there getting cold. I'll be right back. We're back, baby. Quite the bull push, man. Look at this. There's wicking this back, who could have been a nice setup. Nope. Big giant wick. Next bar. Trev. I told everybody I was going to travel full time, and now that I'm 6 years into it, I realize most people didn't care. No, I mean, listen, people have their own lives, dude. Everyone has their own lives. And some people, listen. I really don't mean this in like a cynical way, okay? I mean this in just a reality way, and a way that protects your mindset. If you're here, most of you guys, we probably think relatively similarly, unless you're just here to try to like get rich quick on some gamble or something, in which case you're also welcome. You're just maybe in the corner a little bit. Some people are just losers, man. The mentality, they just want to shit on everything, because every successful thing that they see just reminds them that they gave up on their own dreams. And that fucking hurts, dude. I wouldn't want to be in that situation. Of course that hurts. So everyone has their own lives. They care for 30 seconds and then they're back thinking about that thing that's stressing them out right now. It's just the reality, man. Just keep it to yourself. Right? At the end of the day, does it really matter? You're the one that's going to benefit from your success. Does it really matter? Do you have to tell everybody? All right, minute 48 out. We have a dual rollover here coming for the between the 5 minute and the 2 minute charts. Gotta tell you though, top left is the 5, top right is the 2. Not a lot to look at. 5 minutes kind of ugly. Bit of a wick on this third bar. All right. 10 seconds out here from the dual rollover. Let's take a look up top again. 5 minute top left, 2 minute top right. Yeah, inside close here on the 2. Small, wicky little 5 minute bar. There's just nothing there, is there? All right, back to the 2, next bar. All right. Well, all right, guys. It's 12:30. I gotta hit lunch, otherwise I'm gonna be way behind on meals here today. So I gotta go hit that. I will be back to trade on my own this afternoon. Not my greatest performance here today thus far. That's all right, man. Sometimes you're gonna start days off like this. That's okay. I'll come back, do my job in the afternoon, and hey, wherever the chips lay, we are okay with that because this is a big sample size game. Keep a level head, baby. That always wins. Giovanni Joe, good to see you. Christian, glad to have you here, brother. Scott, hope you have a good rest of your day as well. All right, guys, hey, remember, use code BIG. Best deal always. Take Profit Trader and Apex. Take Profit Trader is still 40% off. No activation fee. Full refund of the first month's test fee on your first payout in a pro account. Confusing. It's a hell of a deal, though, at Take Profit Trader with code BIG. Apex, by the way, ends tomorrow. It's 80% off single day pass. So these are all kind of coming to a close, but right now the deals are nasty, man. So hit it. Time to scale up. All right, guys. See you tomorrow morning. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I'll see you soon.